We take a break from the start of the European season and head over stateside. It's the first ever Miami Grand Prix. It's the fifth round of the 2022 World Championship, the first race in Miami since the 1950s. Then, of course, 2 weeks' time, we take our trip back to Europe with a double-header. Spain and Monaco round out before back to Azerbaijan on June the 12th. June the 19th sees the Canadian Grand Prix at the Gilles Villeneuve circuit back on the calendar. Round 10 of the season takes us to Silverstone on the opening weekend of July. A week later, we're in Austria for the Red Bull Ring on July the 10th. 2 weeks later, France and Hungary take us back-to-back and into the summer break, where we'll have a month off before doing a triple header. Belgium, Dutch and Italian Grand Prix on August 28th, September the 4th and September the 11th. A to be confirmed race still in the books, of course, on the 23rd, before on October 2nd we go to Singapore for the night race. Back then over to Japan on October the 9th. 2 week break before Mexico and America. America on the 23rd, Mexico on the 30th of October. 2 week break and the season rounds out. Season in Sao Paulo on November the 13th and Abu Dhabi on November the 20th. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Charles Leclerc leads the way on 86 points. Max Verstappen is on 59, Sergio Perez on 54. George Russell, with top 5 finishes in every race so far this year, remaining consistent on 49. He's ahead of Carlos Sainz, who's had 2 DNFs back-to-back, both in lap 1, both in the gravel trap. Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton down in 7th position, Bottas 8th, Ocon 9th, and Kevin Magnussen on 15 points rounds out the top 10. On the second page, it's Danny Ricciardo alongside Yuki Tsunoda, Pierre Gasly, Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso and Zhou Guanyu, along with Alex Albon and Lance Stroll, the last drivers with points. Michael Schumacher Jr., or Mick Schumacher, is on 19 on 0 points, Nico Hülkenberg on 0 and Nicholas Latifi still pointless in 2022. In the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari thought they were walking away with it, but a 1-2 for Red Bull last time out have put them just 11 points back. The fight is on. Mercedes still in 3rd position. They have eked ahead of McLaren after a podium in Italy. Further back, Alfa Romeo are 5th, battling with BWT Alpine F1. AlphaTauri are 7th, Haas are 8th, Aston Martin are 9th on 5 points and Williams have a point. The first time this early in a Constructors' Championship that every team has scored points. It's the 2022 Miami Grand Prix and this is your Grand Prix preview. On board then with the Aston Martin, Nick Homewood from EERC is driving us around a lap. Flat out as you approach down towards turn number 1. Brake all the way down, 3rd gear, 55 mile an hour corner for the tight first corner. Rise that up then, 4th gear, 95, 5th gear, 125 round turn 3. Little kinkier down at turn 4 as well as you approach the first real braking zone. 6th gear down to 130 miles an hour, wrist again to 120 as you just literally flying through. Now turn 8, hard on the brakes, 5th gear, 80 miles an hour into the braking zone. Now back on the accelerator at the kink. Now open up, 8th gear, 200 miles an hour flat out through the DRS zone down towards turn 11 and turn 12, down the beach side south and the beach side north as well. After the braking zone, slap on the brakes now into the trickiest part of the track as well. 2nd gear corners as well, around about 50 miles an hour. The apex tightens in on itself as well. Triple apexes before this tight chicane at 14 and 15. It's going to really throw the drivers out, as well as this one. Turn 16, 45 miles an hour. The wall is closer than it looks on R Factor before it widens up on the track as well. Down the back straightaway, already 8th gear, 207 miles an hour in as well. That's what the driver's going to be feeling. They're going to have to slam on the brakes. Down again, 2nd gear into a late braking zone, 45 miles an hour. Last 2 corners, you're building up speed. Turn 18, 5th gear, 125. Turn 19, 7th gear at 170 miles an hour. Cross the line at over 180. That's a lap of Miami. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Miami. For the first time, we are racing at the Hard Rock Stadium, the Miami International Autodrome as well. As somebody told the Americans, apparently that Autodrome is an Italian word, not an American word, but so we're going to go get around that.
They had to be told that?
I don't know why it's called the Miami International Autodrome. I much prefer the original name, which is the Hard Rock Grand Prix Circuit.
That sounds a lot cooler, to be honest.
It does. It sounds like it's heavy metal, and we're going to see a lot of heavy metal this weekend.
It's America. They have a lot of artists that are dedicated to heavy metal.
We've seen a lot of them here this morning as well.
Yeah.
During last night,
Hard Rock Stadium.
Right in the background, across the start line, yeah, because we've just...
It makes more sense.
On the TV pictures in front of us, we're just seeing once again the opening ceremony that was on as well. Morning to Joe Samiego, who was watching on for the Grid Network. Hello to Josh Blaze. We'll hear from him across the weekend. And Megan Birch joins me in the commentary box for Free Practice 1 and the previous show. We've got a lot to talk about.
I thought it was 2.
FP1 you're in at 7:30.
You told me.
No, FP2 might have cover. If not, Josh is around somewhere. We'll just drag him in.
He just tells me these things.
Well, you're on W Series this weekend, so you've already got enough on your plate.
List.
Yeah, I know. I'll get you a list. Let's talk about all things Formula One then. Start what happened in Imola. Let's start with Lewis Hamilton, because in the group chat for the Grid Network, it's been getting quite topical today. Lewis Hamilton to begin with, though, stuck behind Pierre Gasly for the entire race across the sprint and the feature race. He failed to actually gain a position. This weekend, Mercedes have brought a new front and rear wing, and they've changed the beam wing, which is the wing across the two suspensions. They really are trying to go, right, we need to fix this car quickly. Do you think they can?
I hope they can.
But...
Because... I think they're not doing well in that area. I mean, I think with side... Notice how they're the only team without side pods, and they're the only team that are like really, really, really struggling.
Yeah, they're the only ones as well, yeah.
Williams...
2 points finishes.
They always struggle, though they've at least got better.
Yeah, they have. And going on forward as well, Williams this weekend have brought new side pod cooling louvers, the same as Alfa Romeo as well. So, again, trying to benefit from all the cooling they can possibly get from the side pods. Josh said, it's so funny how I'm always in the background lurking. Oh, and Beth will be happy to know I'm back in my living room for this weekend. Oh, great. And Beth isn't with us. How long is it since Australia? 4 weeks? She's not back for another 2, is Beth. So she should be back with us by the time we go back to Europe. As well, due to her internet being out. She just sent us a text. If you're watching this on delayed back, Beth, we miss you.
It's funny how the ones where she could actually sleep.
She missed Australia, yeah. I know. Going on then forward, then, yeah, Lewis Hamilton then coming into this weekend. Helmut Marko said as well he should have retired at the end of the last season. Mika Hakkinen, of course, said maybe he's thinking about retirement. Lewis Hamilton was more hurt about what Mika Hakkinen said, and as he said in the press conference to, I think it was Rachel Brooks or Ted Kravitz, one of the two, on Sky, I decide when my story ends. I decide when it's finished.
Oh, it sounds
he's going
like
for 8.
It sounds like a TV kind of thing. It's like, I decide when my story ends.
Yeah.
I imagine it being in like one of my favourite TV shows, to be honest.
Wrapping up Lewis Hamilton as well. The FIA this weekend, it's the 2 races since Australia that the FIA now have banned all jewellery inside the car. They gave the drivers 2 races to remove jewellery and get it all done and wear the correct fireproof, because we know in Australia, we're talking about it, that they didn't wear the correct fireproof underwear. They have now done that, but the jewellery is still a case. Lewis Hamilton today in the press conference came in with rings on every single one of his fingers, 2 wristwatch on his left and 1 on his right.
Well, how many watches does that man need?
I know, and also about 5 or 6 necklaces as well as earrings and his nose piercing as well. He said as well that he feels like it is a personal attack. There's much bigger things going on right now that needs to be sorted out in the FIA. And even Sebastian Vettel said as well, it sounds like it's a personal attack on Lewis Hamilton. But Megan, in terms of this, I can understand where Lewis is coming from, saying that it's my own body, it's my own risk. I understand if this happens, I'm not going to take them out. But at the same time, I can understand the FIA's point of view when saying that I can understand if he can't be removed, that's fine. But it's all a bit of a mess when the FIA are trying to say, look, if there's a crash, if the car explodes, you could be very badly burned because, as we know, heat make metal expand.
Yeah, and his nose.
Yeah.
If he was in like a fire, God forbid, the nose
will just get hot and hot and hotter.
Yeah, it will get hotter, and then it could really, like, he would possibly lose his sense of smell, and he'd possibly have to have surgery on his nose.
And of course, he wears the 2 earrings as well, so it could damage his ears as well.
So deaf.
It's just a very,
the metal goes into his ear.
Yeah, it's a very awkward situation where drivers need to understand the risk. I think Current Channel put it best. If we let the drivers govern themselves, at least 3 of them would be dead.
Yeah.
Because if you allow drivers to take things into the car and it's supposed to be there, if there's an accident, it would hit something. Like, drivers said, why can't we have phones in our pockets? Well, if you crash, the glass shatters, it goes into a leg and hits one of the arteries. That's it. You're dead. End of. Nothing can be saved there.
Or like a piercing, if they are in a crash and somehow it knocks out and it rips.
Yeah. Exactly.
I've actually been really concerned about that for a couple of years now.
Yeah, so this is, Joe says as well, so has the rule always been around and now the FIA is enforcing it? Yeah, the FIA brought this rule in back in 2005 when Liuzzi and Donbass, I think, had dog tags and earrings in. So they brought it in for them to be removed. Then it sort of got left as a bit of a sideline for quite many years. It's always in the regulations. But Nars Vittek, the race director, who has been the race director every weekend, Eduardo Freitas has been at some races a deputy race director, but he wants a few more rounds to get up to speed with F1, and then he'll take over for some of the races.
Sensible.
Exactly, yeah, sensible. But Nars Vittek has been sort of like on a crusade against drivers not wearing jewellery in the car, wearing all their fireproofs. Basically, we're slagging off the race director and the FIA for wanting the drivers to wear the correct stuff and be safer in the cars as possible. It's
so
Lewis,
just for them following the rules.
Yeah, for me, it's Lewis Hamilton sort of trying to use this as an excuse because of what happened in Abu Dhabi last year. He now feels like the FIA owe him one, that he has got more power than the FIA on a mole standing. That's what I'm getting from it. And Lewis wearing all the jewellery today was just like, it seemed like a child. Is it Joey
petty.
from Friends?
It's
Yeah. Do you remember when Joey in Friends as well put all of Chandler's clothes on because he took the seat? That's exactly what...
I love that.
That's what reminded me today. Lewis wearing all that jewellery as well, more than usual, because he's trying to be petty. He's trying to act out, and it's ridiculous. All this could have been done behind closed doors. It didn't need to be brought in. I think Lewis Hamilton is also making this more about himself as well. But not to say Lewis hasn't been doing great things this weekend. Ted Kravitz reported as well that last night as well, we're not in where we are in Miami. It looks very glitz and glamour, but just 10 metres outside, it's one of the poorest areas of Miami as well. And Lewis was at a seminar last night with loads of young children. He said it was brilliant to see the diversity of them all as well. And he was talking to them about how engineering, mathematics, everything as well, car development as well. It's not just for them. It's for anybody who wants to get involved. So Lewis was really doing the charity side of things last night. And he was absolutely fantastic as well. So full props to Lewis there. And that really does always show to me what I've been going on about most of all, the two sides of Lewis Hamilton. The first side of Lewis Hamilton, where he is this amazing, absolutely amazing, caring, loving, passionate man who really wants to help unify everybody from different cultures and different backgrounds. And then you've got the side of Lewis Hamilton where he's petty, spoiled brat child acting like when things don't go his way. And that's the thing. You can love Lewis on one side and you can hate Lewis on one side.
It's like you're in a constant battle of what the hell am you meant to think.
Yeah. I know. And let's go. Joe says, from my government experience, it looks pretty poorly. As now the new FIA race director, I'm enforcing it, but only one driver is being impacted. Well, it's now one driver, but originally when it got brought up in Saudi Arabia, it was actually Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, Lance Stroll, Mick Schumacher, because they were all wearing rings, jewellery, bracelet. Pierre Gasly is one of them.
Yeah, because Mick, he
wore the bracelet.
A bracelet.
Yeah. And the other drivers wear rings as well, sleep trackers and that sort of thing, and fitness trackers. They all got told off. They all removed it in Australia, and the only one who stopped, now it's become Lewis Hamilton.
Would some have to remove their wedding rings as well?
Yeah, Sebastian Vettel, he's removed his wedding ring.
Both of them who are married, they're being
Magnussen.
affected as well, because they had to take away their wedding rings just for a race.
They've taken it off and they're happy with it. It's the fact that Lewis has made it more about himself, and he's trying to use it as a way to protest freedom and free speech and everything. That's what I'm not liking. When it comes to safety matters, the FIA should just clamp down and do it privately, not for the world to see.
It kind of reminds me of those people we heard about when we were at the start of lockdown who refused to wear masks.
Yeah.
It's for the safety of the drivers in this case, and they need to follow it.
Yeah, well, anyway, that's enough about Lewis Hamilton. We'll talk more about practice one. Going forward then as well, let's talk about Charles Leclerc. Comes in again as a championship leader. Difficult weekend for him in Imola. First time he was off the podium as well. Lando Norris clinching that, and Perez second, Verstappen won. Comes in this weekend. Ferrari, new rear wing. So ultra low downforce for this track as well. And Leclerc's got an engine upgrade. So Ferrari were quick. They're going to be even quicker now coming into Miami.
They really are. It's like Mercedes tries to better themselves. Ferrari just like, yeah, we were prepared for this. Here's a new load of speed.
Red Bull haven't brought any upgrades that we know of just yet. We're expecting to hear that in free practice one. Let's go on to McLaren then. Third place for Lando Norris last time out as well. He's got a brand new basketball-style helmet this weekend. And they've brought some big upgrades. Front suspension and the floor edge has been slimmed down. So it's narrower and it's tighter for the McLarens. That's really going to help them at this very tight, twisty track.
They're going to be very agile with going round other drivers because they're going to be able to get round the corners more easily.
Alpine, one of your favourite teams, who very kindly sent you a Fernando Alonso flag for your birthday as well if they got through. And you're very happy about that. We'll get it out for practice. One of the point this weekend. Alpine, they've got a new rear brake drum as well to try and cool them down after some brake fires last time out, including Alonso having to retire. No update yet on AlphaTauri or Aston. Williams and Alfa Romeo, as I said, bought the new side pod cooling Louvier, so the new sort of, I don't know how to go duck egg blue as well. And apparently my Skybox is about to go into standby mode to save energy. To stop this, press any button. I'm going to go change that before practice one. Haas, of course, as well, brought a new rear wing. And Kevin Magnussen, in the points, he's got 15 on the board, 3 out of 4 races. That's insane for K-Mag. That Haas is quite quick this year.
It really is. I mean, last year we saw Haas not having any type of speed. Though after improvements and changes in drivers, they're getting to a very top-tier type team again because they're the equivalent of McLaren last year.
Yeah, they are. They absolutely are. Bang on. So maybe they could win in Italy. Joe Samiga says, I think the F1 is going on the slippery slope with allowing rules like this to slide. Yeah, I think they really need to go on to everything about it as well and hammer down what needs to be done. Right, going forward as well, because we're 2 minutes over what we said we were going to be. We're 15 minutes because we've been talking about loads of things. Let's go on. Red Bull as well this weekend. They're coming in thinking that they're going to take another 1-2, but the fuel pump issue is still lurking in the background.
That should really be kept an eye on.
Max has DNF'd in Bahrain, won in where was round 2? Saudi Arabia, lost in Australia with the same issue, won in Emilia-Romagna. Now it's round 5. It's been DNF victory. Is this weekend time for DNF?
I think if they want to keep away from that DNF, which is kind of likely, then they need to do. Hold on. Sorry.
There you go, clear your throat. You're right. It's the air.
Do you know when the air goes round the wrong tube?
Yeah. Go on. Anyway, if you want to avoid it.
And if they want to avoid it, then don't push as hard in the free practice sessions like they were before, because then that means that they'll have trouble in qualifying, meaning they won't be able to get to a good position in the race and they won't be able to get up as high up in the grid. Yeah,
absolutely. Bang on. Right, more updates will be coming during the first practice session. That's sort of the main things we've covered about the upgrades as well coming into it. Reminder for you then, we're on air in exactly 1 hour, so 60 minutes, 20 past the hour. First practice will be at 7:30 British Summer Time as well. Free practice 2 at 10:30 British Summer Time as well. W Series is back this weekend as well. You looking forward to calling that as lead comms once again?
Yeah, just adds to a load more things I have to do, so I'm looking forward to it.
And of course, back on Grid Network as well. We're both on this for this weekend as well. Just the F1. Double race for W Series, race 1 and race 2, Saturday, Sunday. All going to be good. Qualifying coming up tomorrow as well. You can watch that on the YouTube channel, on W Series YouTube channel, I must point out. Same for practice. If you're in the UK, Sky Sports has it. And if you're in America, ESPN will be covering W Series. But you can tune into our Watch On commentary now. Easier than ever to take a look at as the Skybox switches off. I'm going to have to go sort that out now because we don't want it switching off during practice. Or we've left Virgin Media and we've gone to Sky now, so for the first time Sky is on Sky, so that's great news. Right, we'll be back later then for first practice. It's going to be an interesting weekend. The Hawaiian shirts are out as well. You're going to go Hawaiian for Sunday? Have you got anything?
I don't own anything.
Well, we'll have to. We'll think about it.
I recently got some light tops for my birthday.
Miami.
Oh yeah.
All right then, Miami only top.
I'll have to wear this for Sunday.
Oh, well, it's a quick wash. But yeah, there you go. Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Miami, San Diego, Seattle. Well, you got Miami. That'll do. I'm channeling Miami vibes this weekend as well. Miami Vice, I should say, as well. So I've got Hawaiian shirts throughout the weekend. Literally throughout. Right, join us then for practice 1 in an hour's time. Myself and Megan and Josh Blaze will be in the pits, ready to go. Bye for now.